Let's talk about a programming language that made a simple but totally revolutionary promise. Write once, run anywhere. We're talking about Java, of course, and it was designed to bust software out of the prison of a single computer. So, how did it change the world? Let's get into it.
First, to really get why Java was such a game changer, we gotta go back in time. You have to ask yourself, why was it that a program you wrote for a PC was basically a useless coaster on your friend's Mac? What was trapping all that code on one machine?
Well, the answer is something you could call the platform prison. See, before Java, programs were built to be understood by one specific processor and one specific operating system. It's kind of like writing a book in a really obscure dialect that only the people on one tiny island can understand.
And this was the frustrating reality for every developer. You'd pour your heart into writing code for Windows, and guess what? It would only run on Windows. If you wanted it on a Mac, you couldn't just copy and paste. No way. It meant a complete, expensive, and time-consuming rewrite from scratch. Each platform was its own little isolated world.
But then, in the early 90s, a team over at Sun Microsystems decided enough was enough. They set out to solve this exact problem. They imagined a way to build a universal bridge between all these separate islands.
The project was first called Oak, and it was led by a guy named James Gosling. By 1995, they renamed it Java, and yep, it was literally named after the coffee, and they released it out into the wild. Fast forward 15 years, and Oracle buys Sun, pretty much cementing Java's place in the Tech Hall of Fame.
And this was its powerful, world-changing motto. This was more than a slogan. It was a direct promise to developers everywhere that, hey, the days of being locked up in that platform prison, they're over. So what did that actually look like in the real world? It meant you could write a single Java application, just one, and that very same app could run on a Windows machine, a Mac, a Linux box, and eventually on your Android phone. No rewrites, none. So how in the world was that even possible?
The secret sauce here, the magic ingredient, is a brilliant piece of software that works like a universal translator. And this is where we really get into the genius of how Java works under the hood.
It all comes down to a really clever three-step process. First, the developer just writes their code in Java like normal. But step 2 is the key. Instead of compiling that code for, say, Windows specifically, the compiler creates this intermediate universal format called bytecode. And then finally, this bytecode can be run by something called the Java Virtual Machine, or JVM, on any computer out there.
The JVM is the absolute hero of this story. It's a virtual machine, which just means it's software that pretends to be a computer. It creates a consistent environment on any actual hardware. So Windows has its own special JVM, Mac has its own, and Linux has its own, but they all understand the exact same language, that universal Java bytecode. That's the trick. That's the secret to running anywhere. Now, if you've ever seen a little pop-up on your computer saying you need to install Java to run something, you were probably installing the JRE. That's the Java Runtime Environment. It's the bare minimum you need to just run a Java program. It's got that JVM we just talked about, plus a bunch of other essential files. And then for all the developers out there, there's the JDK, the Java Development Kit. This is the whole workshop. It's got the JRE for running the programs, but it also has the compiler and all the other tools you need to actually write and build brand new Java apps. It's a pretty smart system, right? A regular user only needs the lightweight JRE, but the developers get the whole shebang.
Okay, so beyond its amazing run-anywhere powers, Java's other superpower comes from its whole design philosophy. It's built around a concept called object-oriented programming, or OOP, and it's all about modeling the real world right inside your code. The absolute best way to get your head around OOP is with this blueprint idea. Think of a class as the blueprint for a car. It defines everything a car is supposed to have: 4 wheels, an engine, a color. The object, on the other hand, is the actual physical car sitting in your driveway that you built from that blueprint. And here's the cool part. You can build as many cars, as many objects, as you want from that one single blueprint. Let's make this even more real. Take a mobile phone object. Its states are just its properties. You know, its model, its color, its price. And its behaviors are the things it can do, like making a call or sending a text. OOP is just a really powerful and organized way for developers to bundle up data and actions together. So platform independence and object-oriented design are obviously huge. But there are a few other core reasons why Java has stayed so incredibly popular for decades. For one, it's super robust. Java has things like automatic memory management and really strong error checking, which basically helps developers build more reliable apps that are way less likely to crash. It was also designed with security in mind right from the get-go. The whole runtime environment has features built into it to help stop apps from being attacked or compromised. Now, calling any programming language simple is a bit of a stretch, but compared to the languages that came before it, like C++, Java is definitely more straightforward. It got rid of a lot of really complex and error-prone features, which just made it easier for developers to write good, clean code. And finally, it's multi-threaded. All that means is a Java app can do multiple things at the same time. This is absolutely critical for making modern software that feels super interactive and responsive instead of freezing up all the time. So why does any of this matter? Well, because this incredible combination of features made Java an absolute powerhouse. It's the engine that drives billions of Android apps all over the world. It's the trusted backbone for huge, serious systems in banking and business, and it's even a core technology for the entire world of big data. When you boil it all down, Java didn't just give us a new language. It gave us a whole new way of thinking about software, a world where our code could finally be free and portable. It gave us the blueprint for the run-anywhere world that we all just take for granted today. So the only question left is, what's the next blueprint?